Information brought to you by Expandifiers. Today we're going to have another very interesting topic to talk about. So, I am Itu, your host, and we're going to be sharing. We have a very special guest with us today who's going to be sharing his story of success. His name is Ramín Sarám. He is a veterinarian with over 20 years of experience who also has a degree in electrotechnical engineering. And he's got a story that he wants to share with us to inspire us to reach success the way he did. So, without further ado, let's get rolling. Okay, great. So the subject that we're going to talk about. Oh, this is Ramin. Say hi, Ramin.
Hi.
Hello to all of the audience watching us or that will be watching us later on whenever they catch this show. So, the going over what we were going to talk about, you mentioned that mindset is very important and it's key to reaching success, correct?
That's absolutely correct.
So I just want to jump straight into it because I feel like you've got a lot of things to say about it. So tell us a little bit about where you come from, how you started, and how mindset was important for you.
Hmm. Well, I'm Iranian, and I moved to Canada almost 18 years ago. And I was a veterinarian back home uh, for a couple of years. Before that, I was a sort of technical technician. I had no idea about natural science or veterinarian or anything like that, and it was almost long time ago. I switched to veterinary science. I decided to become a veterinarian, and even those days, nobody thought that that's something that it can happen. Some of my friends they thought I've lost my mind, and but you know what? I just decided to do it, and uh, I did it. Become a veterinarian. I studied by myself. Uh, Not even 1 hour of going to any school or anything. I read the biology by myself.
Wow.
Yeah, I memorized every single word, and finally I did it. I
Wow.
did it. Yeah, and then after a couple of years, having my own hospital back home in Iran, and because of political situations and this, how the whole country is running, I couldn't take it anymore, so I decided to come to Canada. I came here 18 years ago, and then mm, it was anybody has immigrated to another country, they know what I'm talking about. It's like being in a roller coaster. As long as you're looking at it, like, oh, I can't wait to get there. They're like, when's my turn? But when you are there, you're screaming your head off and going up and down, and you're saying, oh, when the thing is going to end. So I was in that roller coaster and got my degree back here in Canada.
Amazing.
Opened my. I was in the States for a while. I was different states, uh, New York, Illinois, Wisconsin, Florida,
Hmm.
and then didn't work. Couldn't get along with the U.S. society. Did the whole picture. So came back to Canada, opened my own hospital, and it became very successful hospital. In 2017, my hospital became the fastest growing hospital in Ontario.
God
And
damn.
yeah, yeah, it did work. So
So you basically went from zero to hero.
I don't know if I would call it hero, but from zero got to somewhere that I'm happy with.
That's great, man. That's a very good story. So it
Just
was,
an
it's
now
yeah,
I
go ahead.
sold my hospital.
Uh-huh.
I sold it, and during COVID, and now I am more involved with the construction.
And so now you're into,
An architect, yes.
that is a great story. So so you brought you learned from scratch without even going to school to be a veterinarian. And then you travel to a different country, right? Uh, like you say, have to crawl your way through being somewhere else that you're not familiarized with, totally different culture, and then you go to Canada, put your hospital, make it big and successful, the fastest growing, animal hospital that there
The
is in
second
Ontario.
fastest growing.
It's still the fastest growing. You got it to a point where you said, I can sell this thing. You sold it, right? And now you're into
Architect.
architecture.
Yeah.
That is an amazing story, man.
Thank you.
You're a warrior, man.
Yeah, I would say I get bored easily.
So
I cannot have that scheduled, pre-planned, predictable life. I can't do it.
you're my kind of guy. Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel you, man.
I like the challenge, and I like the challenge. Otherwise, you're gonna live one day and you're gonna repeat the same thing over and over again. So I don't know if you can call it a life. Maybe you live long, but I don't know how wide you have lived. You need to live wide. It's not how long you live.
That is actually very important to mention because um, some business owners want to reach that stability, like a dreamed stability of just checking in 9 to 6, whatever, making some money, being stable. But then it's like you got to put excitement into life, right? For you to feel that you're actually accomplishing your dreams. Otherwise, it's just like, yeah, maybe your business is successful, but are you actually leaving? You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's exactly is the point. I remember where I can't remember where, but I read. I like this paragraph, and I really liked it. It says, uh, "Life is like a sword. Maybe it's very sharp. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's made by the best of best of best. But if you're not gonna fight, what is the point? What is the point of that sword? You need to get injured. You need to fight with someone stronger than yourself. Then you can say, "Oh, I enjoyed this." It's like you're having a beautiful Mercedes or BMW, and you're just sitting in, and you're just looking without starting that engine and let it to engine to roll and to roar, go on the highway, drive this damn thing.
I totally understand what you're saying, man, and that's why we picked this subject as for today in regards to like the mindset. It's like that's a totally different mindset that you have, right? That drove you to success of just grabbing life by the balls and going,
Mhm.
this is my life, this is what I want to do, this is the way I want to live it. I don't care that I didn't go to school. I'm just going to succeed doing what I want in spite of anybody else. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
tell us what was the mindset that somebody like you had to have in order to go out to the world and succeed on something that you learned, like self-taught basically, right? And then just made it so successful. What is the mindset that a guy like you has to have in order to accomplish what you have accomplished?
You know, uh, before that mindset, I, let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. So when we are talking about the mind, you need to come up with the definition of that mind. What is mind? What is it? Nobody asked this. What is mind? Where is my mind? What is the mind? You need to come to that definition of mind and then say, okay, this is my mind, but I'm not my mind. You know what I mean? That's, you need to distinguish. You need to differentiate between the fact that I have a mind, and that's a big part of me. Basically, if you want to come up with a definition of me or anyone else, it's a combination of your mind and your body, right? So this body and mind needs to work in a harmonious way. You need to have a good setup for this. Correct?
Totally agree, man. Totally agree.
Thank you. So here's the thing: people they don't get into this point. That's why they don't go straight. They wiggle. They go back and forth because they haven't set it up properly yet. So if you want to build this building, and let's say in this land, you need the foundation. If the foundation is not correct, it's not gonna be good. So This is the foundation. This is when you need to make it clear for yourself that what am I talking about when I say myself? Do I know myself? If you don't know yourself, then you cannot plan on that thing, because you don't know what is your strong points. You don't know what is your weak points, right?
Totally. Yes.
You know, you're in Mexico. Correct. Maybe you drive everywhere so easily. Here in Canada, no. Here, let's say if I want to go 5 hours north, I don't want to go there with the front wheel, with the back wheel drive. You don't want to take your BMW there because it's not good. It's snow. You're gonna get the stock. So to drive there, you need a all-wheel drive first, right? Do you have blanket in your car? Do you have a full tank of gas in case of some blizzard is happening? So these are the requirements for your journey. So if you go 4 hours north and you have all of this preparation, you should have, and if you don't, that would be your stupidity, because you're going to shiver and very good chance freeze, God forbid, if something happens. So why did you don't do this preparation for such a big journey like your life? Yes. Have you prepared yourself? They don't ask this.
Yes,
what is
actually.
The preparation? For preparation, what do you need? What do you need? It's your mindset. It's not that how big you are and how much you weigh, or that's not the point. It's all about your mind. That's the bottom line. That's very simple. You don't need to be a psychologist to understand this. You don't need to have an MBA in, to it's very, very simple. Everybody can understand this. And to be honest with you, I've been thinking for a while that going even to the high schools and talk about, because, this country gave me a lot and just give back. I've been thinking about going to high schools and talk to people that are, the students. And it's so simple. It's so simple. It's so simple that they don't understand that. They think that it should be something very complicated. No, it's very, very simple. I mean, it's like having a trip. Yeah. If you're taking that journey, you need a mindset. You need to find out what is the definition of your mind. Your mind is one of your senses, like touch, hearing, vision, to help you. So you're not your mind. Correct?
Correct.
But since you're not your mind, then you need to be able to control that mind. Because if you don't, that mind is going to control you.
Yes,
but
totally.
You, as a higher consciousness, you need to be on the top and look from the top to your mind and tell that mind, this is what we are going to do. Just like a puppy. You go get a puppy, right? It's very cute. You like this puppy, it's fluffy and all of that. But you can bear that puppy to bark around and pee and poop around maybe for 2-3 days. After 2-3 days, when you clean that poop and dirt, then you're gonna no. There should be some training here.
Totally. So basically, what you're telling us is that you had to train your own mind
Thank you.
to set
Thank
it in a way that you succeed in spite of everything, right?
thank
That
you.
like that was the key
Thank
behind
you.
your success.
Thank you. Exactly. Just like having a puppy.
Mm.
Sit. If that dog doesn't listen to you, then that puppy is going to take you for a walk, my friend. You're not taking that puppy for a walk. You
I
see what I'm saying?
see. Yeah, I
So
totally
that
hear you.
you need to learn. Learn. It's not just blah, 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 blah. You need to put some weight to learn how to use this tremendous power of your subconscious mind. So you need to be able to find out what is subconscious mind, how does it work, and how you can control it. It has too much power, it has too much information, that if you want to go ahead and just get face to face with it, it would be like drinking from a fire hose. If so much information is coming, you cannot get anything. You're just going to get soaked and maybe not even one sip of water, because there's that much of information coming. So I have a very good book that I would highly recommend. I'm going to show you.
Yeah, sure, please.
I would highly recommend anyone, even people they don't want to go business, or they're not that ambitious. Read this for your own sake and for anybody around you, because you're gonna here. See, it's called.
You got me interested. Let's see what it is.
Yeah, it's called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Good. Yeah.
This is
okay. We'll check it out.
This is a must book, and it's not that big. You can finish this. You can order it online. You can listen to this YouTube. It's for free in YouTube.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
great.
for free. So
I'll check it out.
It's one of the books. The other book that I would highly recommend. This is another must book. It's called Frequency.
Frequency. Great.
So I've read this book so many. I've chewed it.
I can tell. It's all worn out.
I know. So these two books. See, the first book is a must. Frequency is a little bit higher level. People you need to read that book at least 2-3 times. At least 2-3 times. First time, just read it as a newspaper. Don't try to get it. Just read it like a newspaper to see what it says. And the next time you will understand more and more. And third time you see what's happening until you get the point that, okay, so this is how my mind works. Right? You need to see how your mind works. What is the ingredients of this mind? I have a subconscious mind. I have a conscious mind. And then, okay, very simple. Now you have a conscious mind, you have an unconscious mind, and then how these two, they work together, and how me as a higher consciousness, that I'm not my mind. I'm looking at them from the top. You know what I mean? I decide what's happening here. Good. I decide. I tell you to sit down, to that puppy. Sit down, move. And I say, don't move, don't move. This is how you speak to your mind. That's quiet.
Right.
And you need that mind to be quiet. You're not asking. Do you think that if the dog is barking, do you think that you can go to the barker and say, oh, don't do it, don't bark, please? Yeah? Do you think that any dog would listen to you?
No, totally not.
No, thank you. Why not?
Well, Why not? You need to be the boss.
Thank you. Because you are not the boss.
Totally,
that dog is 100% subconscious. You know what I mean? That's fully 100% instincts. He doesn't know you, but he will feel you. I've done this for over 20 years. Trust me. I've been bitten by every single dog. I have so many bites on my hand, I can't even count. Tell me.
So you
But
put it to practice.
I know, that's why I'm telling you. See, this is how you talk to your mind. Otherwise, it's not going to work. If you request, it's going to no. No, I got things to do. I want to bark. I like barking.
So let's take this to like the businessman trying to succeed, right? Look, it's like I can see a businessman there trying to make it go, and then all these thoughts, ideas, doubts, insecurities that are a lot of the blocks that he's gonna encounter are gonna hit against all that uncertainty, right? An emotion. So what you're telling us is that what helped you succeed, what drove you to succeed, was having control over all of those doubts, uncertainties, insecurities, and emotions. Correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Basically, this is how it worked for me. I cannot really prescribe anything for someone else because they are not me and I'm not them. You see,
Of course.
I know I have certain power points and a certain weak points. You know what I mean? But first, you need to know yourself. Prepare for this journey. You know what I mean? Prepare yourself for that journey. Forget about journey. Forget about business. Forget about anything else. As a human, what is the purpose of all of these businesses and going over and beyond? And for me, 10 years of study, 10 hours a day. When I came here, I couldn't even speak English, not even one word of English. And instead of how are you, I used to say, are you okay? Until my friends, they said, Ramín, don't say, are you okay? You should say, how are you? See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was like that.
Yeah.
So you need to have that drive to say, I gotta do it. I gotta do
Right.
it. And you need to boost that I gotta do every single morning. When you wake up, you open your eyes, you're like, I gotta do it. Until to the point that you don't see anything else. You won't have any emotions. And you don't need to have emotions, to be honest with you. These emotions, now it's gonna get a little bit philosophical, but if you go to the bottom of definition of the emotions, what is emotions? And then you understand that you're just wasting time and energy, but all of these emotions that you're having.
Totally agree with you.
What is the point of getting angry for the guy that is driving? I do it all the time, let me tell you. But is there anything that you can do about it? Do you have any control? Ask yourself that question. Ask you that question 20 times a day. Every time you are facing with a problem, ask yourself, do I have any control over this? No, I don't have any control over this. If you don't have any control, then let it go. Let it go. Let go. So you need to have just getting back to your questions. If I wanted to answer that question properly, what is the recipe for a good business to succeed? The bottom line is principles. You need to have a very good definition of yourself. It could come up with a mission statement for your company to say who we are. If you don't have a good definition of yourself, then if I don't know myself, how other people are going to know me?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I need to know myself. I need to have a policy for my own person. If you need to have policy for yourself, you have to have a very clear discipline. I remember the days that I was in Guelph. In Guelph, I studied in Guelph University by myself. I used to have this policy. I didn't go to the classes because those days there was no classes. So just study by yourself. If I would study, I decided to study 10 hours a day. 10 hours a day, no matter what. And if I would study 9, next day I would punish myself to do 11. And I had no mercy on myself. No mercy. You know what I mean? Because if you don't have that discipline, you're just gonna go round and round and round and round. You know what I mean? If when you have that discipline, and then your team understand the discipline, your team would understand the value of the things they do, and then they're gonna enjoy it.
I understand. It totally makes sense that emotions are something that are, they're really worthless basically, because a lot of
Perfect.
people are trying to measure their lives by how they are feeling, and I think it's a total waste of time, because you
Time
didn't
and
come here,
energy. Time
yeah,
and
and
energy.
energy, because I don't think we're here to feel. I think we're here to build, and in order to
Exactly.
build, you gotta like push aside whatever you're feeling. Like you say, one day I could study 9 hours, chill out a little bit for that extra hour that didn't study, but then that isn't going to get you closer to where you want to go, to where you want to be. So like you said it, punish yourself. I want to think the word that comes to mind is discipline yourself to be as
Exactly.
great as you want to be every single day. And
Exactly.
the hell with emotions. If you're feeling
Exactly.
tired or not willing that day, it's like you said, you got to visualize every single morning where you want to go, how you're going to do it, and keep that mindset, like you said, strong, because that's really what's going to get you to where you want to go, not the emotions, not the doubts. And I think that this is the like transcendent. We came here to trying to talk about business, but I think that the way that you put it just covers life in itself.
See, business would come after. Success comes after. You don't need to run for it. If you have
Right.
that discipline,
Hmm.
if I have that discipline, if I create that machine that I want, then I can drive anywhere that I want. Doesn't matter. 4 hours north, 4 hours east. I have all-wheel drive car that I can trust, and that car can trust me. You know what I mean? Your mind
Yes,
is that engine.
totally. I totally agree.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you need to come up. You need to take care of that engine every single day. I'm an old guy. You know, you know. Uh, every morning I had a Land Rover back home. Every morning I had to go check the water in the radiator, check the oil, put some fire under the engine to just get warm. So I can start because it was freezing cold. Iran is a cold country on the north,
Mm.
almost as cold as Canada. So I
Wow.
used to practice in the border of Iran and old Soviet Union, like with Armenia.
Hmm.
So all
Wow.
mountains, you're driving up or you're going down. There was no flat road. So taking care of your car's engine is vital because guess what? If you don't, somewhere down the road, it's gonna go. Okay, amigo, you go from here. I'm done.
Well, I think this was very, very valuable data. I'm sure that the audience is going to be, very pleased to hear your story, because, I could sit here for like an hour, talking about one subject, episode after episode, but there's nothing like bringing someone successful like you that has actually, you know, gone through his own thing, lived his own life. And when people see a story of a man like yourself, that you are a self-made, successful person with this very specific way of thinking that I think is so extremely valuable. That's the kind of content that we want to bring to our audience, because I think this is going to make a difference. If we can change our society, the way that they think, just individual by individual, we're actually going to have a better tomorrow. So
Absolutely, absolutely,
I want to
absolutely.
thank you very much, Ramin, for being here with us. I think it was excellent. I loved having you in the show. You're an amazing person.
Thank
And
you.
Yeah, I would love to have you in the show in a few months back again.
Yeah,
What do you think?
absolutely. I'll be glad to talk to you again.
Yeah, thank you very much. This was
You're welcome.
really, really valuable. We appreciate it.
You're
And
welcome. All the
to all
best.
of you that are,
All the best.
thank you, man. You too. You're a great man. And
Thank you.
just to end off, to all of you that are listening or watching this show, don't forget that this is Expandifiers. You can find us at expandifiers.com and find out everything that we can do for you and your business, and like on this show, for your life. So see you in the next one, and thank you very much, Ramin.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.